Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we are discussing if the appearance matter when you're dating, and especially when you're dating in a foreign country. It matters. Doesn't matter where you're dating, but especially when you're dating in a different culture that you own. So, what do you think about that subject?
Very important subject.
Okay.
Appearance matters when you date, no matter where you are, but especially when you're dating in a foreign country because they may not be used to your culture and the way you dress, mannerisms, grooming, those type of things, which we're going to discuss each one of those individually. So yeah, I think it's very important.
Okay. Yes. When you are dating in a different culture, I will put myself, for example, because I live part in the U.S. Yeah, I saw how the culture is, the different culture, how people dress, how especially how they dress. It's different than how we do things over here. For example, one of the things that I used to see a lot over there that you don't see here even though nowadays you have some people that are doing, but it's people adopting other cultures, way that they do things, and especially in the US, I used to see a lot of people just going in the pajamas, go to the supermarket, go everywhere. And that is not something that you see very often here. Well, to not say not at all, because I've seen some people over here already doing that. Before, it was never. It pretty much, when you go out, even to the bank, supermarket, you pretty much people put this with using decent clothing or appearance to go out.
I do agree with you about American culture because there are just so many different styles, the way people present themselves because of such a diverse country with so many different cultures there that sometimes in the past when I was growing up it was more like just what I would say homegrown Americans, maybe that's not the word, and there wasn't a lot of transplants, and so people did have a way that they presented themselves. And now, since America has almost become like a melting pot, that you see so many different styles and cultures that when you see those things, it doesn't really even, you don't even look at it twice anymore. It's like, oh, that's just them. But when you're in a foreign country, they are still more culture oriented, where they have a defined way of how they present themselves and what they, I wouldn't say would accept and wouldn't accept, but in their mind what they would accept.
And it's not noticeable. So when you are in, like for example, right here, I can notice when it is a foreign person that is walking around because I see the way they dress, and I
Give us an example. I know an example. When I see you got socks on with flip flops, I know that's an American person.
Yeah, that's something that we usually say when it has socks. Yeah, flip flops on, and we know it's an American. A lot of times when they had dreads in their head, we know it's an American. No many Dominicans have the how you call it, dreadlocks in their head. Now you have a lot of guys now that they do ponytail, which is, I don't like it. I don't like a grown men with a ponytail in their head. I mean, they just even though people do it for a style, but those you see guys here having those, but like dreadlock, no very often.
And women with a lot of wigs and weaves, that they foreigners.
Yes, I mean here you will find a lot of extension. Women put extension to make their hair longer, but yeah, not very often even.
We came up with a few things that that we think people should pay attention to, as when they're looking to date or just looking to just kind of immerse themselves in the culture. And it's just a few things that we came up with, and we're not saying that people have to change. That's totally up to them. If you like to be an outsider, then that's fine. But if you want to, be, I would say, socially accepted.
Not socially acceptable. I will say because if you come the way you are, you just come to visit, you be walking around, people are gonna know that you are a foreigner. You come to do what you come here to do, and then you just go by your business. But if you come over here with the intention to find a female to date or something like that, and women are more familiar to see how guys dress over here, you're gonna feel more approachable to somebody that is kinda similar. to the way you are, because that's what, I don't know, I'm trying to relate that is what you are familiar to. Like, you are familiar how Dominicans guys always are like, how you call it, clean, no clean?
Clean cut.
Yeah, clean cut. That they always, even though it's hot as hell over here, they always have shirt, they have the pants. Some of them wear too tight. I'm not saying that you have to put the tight pants, but this is what they are familiar, and they're gonna be more approachable to something that they are already familiar with. Now, depending on how men is, that is another thing. But I'm saying the first thing that comes to you is what you see, is in your eyes. That's the first thing, even with food. The first thing that it comes to your attention is how the food looks. So if you are trying to date, I will say that is important, because that's the first thing that they're gonna be looking at.
Yeah. So when, just to go back, when I said socially acceptable, when you come to visit, then, I mean, you're not trying to be socially acceptable and come to visit. But if you are coming here to date and live, I mean, you don't. I won't say you don't, but me personally, I don't want to stand out as a foreigner. I want to, kind of mix in with the crowd. Not that I'm trying to be, a Dominican, or if I'm in Thailand, a Thai, or a Philippine, or Colombia, Brazilian. What I'm saying is I just want to fit in and look like, my surroundings a little bit. I don't want to stand out. Matter of fact, we tried to make this video a couple times.
We always, I mean, not always, but the first time we did it, we know that this is probably a sensitive video
topic.
Yeah, we don't want to offend people, or say the way that you look, or the way that you dress, or how you carry yourself. That is a personal decision how you want to be or dress or whatever. But we're just trying to give you some how you call it, advice,
right?
Or how, if you want to like blend in, or what probably female that we feel, not that we know for sure, but that we feel there will be a better outcome for you if you do those things, if you're trying to date here.
Right. Yeah. And so that's why it took us a while to do that. I mean, because her and I both, especially me, I'm real direct. What I say is, it's hard for me to mince words. You know what I'm saying? That's why we don't get on live that much, because we both say what's on our mind, and you can edit them out. But anyway, we don't want people to take it, offense to us. So the first thing is grooming, right? That appearance does matter when it comes to grooming. Meaning, make sure your facial hair is shaped up, it's trimmed, you got a haircut. Like she said, the first thing somebody sees when they look at you is how you look, your appearance. And from that, they start, whether you believe it or not, but from that moment, they already start putting you in categories and putting you in certain boxes. And that goes for not just, that's how we all are. We see somebody, if I see a girl now, she got purple hair, I'm already dropping it. My mind is already dropping her off in certain categories and boxes of, whatever my boxes are, or what, that I drop people in. And that's just how they do. That's just how the mind works. So, if you come and you have, not saying like she was talking about dreads, it's okay to have dreads, but if your dreads are just all over the place and they're not neat and things like that, that can be a disadvantage. Not saying that it's that it can't be an advantage, but it's definitely a disadvantage. And I would also say that it's slightly a disadvantage here because, as you said, most other cultures doesn't wear that type of hairstyle. So it can be a slight disadvantage, but if you want to make it a better advantage, at least have it clean and shaped up and tucked away right to make it, to give yourself that extra edge.
Yeah, because I've seen guys, Dominican guys, they have a trade, or especially the one they already been in the United States. Some of them they just adopting other cultures style. But at least if you're gonna make that your style, or if that is your style, you try to have it clean and fixed, all over the place. Because there's some people that try to use a style, but when you see them, they are just a disaster.
You also want to take in consideration the setting you're in. So if you're in, just say, in a beach town, Boca Chica, Cabarete, Sosúa, or Puerto Plata, and you encounter someone, you having on shorts and flip-flops and a tank top and things like that is, pretty much acceptable in those type of environments. But when you're in, big cities like Santo Domingo and Santiago, and places like that, you want to be more considerate as to what your attire looks like.
I agree.
The best way to do that is I tell people, man, when you go out, look around the room and see what the other guys, how they look and how they dress, and that'll tell you whether, you're on the right track or not. Because, when we go out here, man, we look around and we see how, other people carry themselves in different, in those environments, and say, hey, this is, and that'll tell you what's pretty much, I would say, socially acceptable. Mm-hmm. And I know that didn't have anything to do with grooming, but just make sure that you got a nice haircut. If you got a beard, man, make sure it's not straggly. You got to put some moisturizer on it and things like that.
Yes, I agree with that. Dressing, depending on the place that you are, is very important because you don't want to look out of place. Mm-hmm. So yeah, especially when we go out here, depending on what we got. If you go to a restaurant, you don't see anybody like, this person look like she's going to the beach. They dress accordingly to the place that they are going to or the area they are going to. That is very important. If you go here very often now, if you just visit a town where are touristic town, beach town, you're always gonna see the same thing: flip-flop, shorts. That's what you're gonna see. But when you go to other areas here, you will see the different how people dress, how people act.
Right.
That give you an idea of if you're trying to fit in, like blend or fit in, like he said.
Yeah, I would, and I use myself for example. I've always been the type of person that was really just what they call you call it extra regular. You know what I'm saying? Even just growing up, that I always was just, I wasn't, my dress was never, over the top, or it was never straggly. Like me, I keep on, you always say with a white t-shirt, a nice pair of jeans, and some clean white sneakers. I mean, that's, to me, unless you're in some type of country where they don't wear that stuff and they wear other things, typically that's pretty safe. You would say it's pretty safe. If your t-shirt clean, it's not old straggly t-shirt, you're pretty much safe for going into any type of environment, just kind of see. But, if you go in with your, your tank top and your jersey on and things like that, you just stand out a little bit more. So, I would just say, kind of just keep it, regular, not too over the top. Like I say, to me, t-shirts, white tees, jeans, white sneakers are typically standard anywhere around the world. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's the next one?
I think it's mannerism. Mannerism and the way that you
comport yourself
when you are out in public, I guess.
So yeah, I think this is important too. It may not have a lot to do with your appearance, but it's also important that that you have the proper mannerisms when you're in these other countries. The mannerisms that we have in the United States doesn't necessarily always transfer to the other places that we go. Like, it's socially acceptable, and I wouldn't say socially acceptable in the States, but I mean, you see it all the time, being combative with, at restaurants and, fast food and things like that. But in here, when there's a disagreement, you don't see people just, blow a lid, blow their top.
Oh, you'll give me the money here.
Right, yeah, that type of stuff, you just don't see that, like the lady that was in Dubai who, argued at the rental car place. I don't know all the details, but based on what came out was that she was yelling back at the counter person. And if that country says that that's illegal, whether we believe that's big or small, or it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? If you can't conduct yourself according to the laws in another country, don't go. I think it's small that, you can yell at somebody and you can go to jail. I mean, yeah, I think that's crazy. But I only think that because I come from the United States and we can't do that. But if you grew up in a culture and you're not used to seeing that, they may think that that's not,
that is not acceptable.
That's not acceptable behavior. So people need to comport themselves, based on, according to the laws and the conduct of that country. So your mannerism is very important. Or that example when those ladies went to Ghana and was twerking on the statues or the monuments, or the ancestors, the slave ancestors, that type of stuff that's not acceptable. And the only reason they thought that was acceptable because it's acceptable in the United States. And to me, that was very disrespectful. So you see things like that, that you need to make sure that, this is, it's not social accepted everywhere you go. So you need to comport yourself in that way.
Yes, because those things don't just look bad on you, it also can get you in trouble. Like the example that you make about the lady in Dubai. Not only look bad because, nowadays everybody have a camera out, a phone out. It's also going to get you in trouble because she went to jail. But how you will say, how does that matter when you're trying to date? I mean, what we're trying to convey is how you conduct yourself matter. Because if you are probably at that moment when you're doing that, probably you ain't looking to date. But if you find somebody in that area where you are that you make like that person make like you or whatever, I mean, the way that you conduct to yourself, that's something they're gonna pretty much click somebody off and say, that's it. Or let's say that you are out with somebody that you're trying to date and you just be acting like you will normally act in United States or whatever country you are. I usually put United States, not because I'm cheating on United States. I want to make that clear because I am familiar with United States. This is the only two places I live, here in United States. But if you will conduct the same way that you conduct over there, the same way that you will do it over there, probably that was something that somebody that you are dating or going out, they will say, that is something that I don't want to deal with. That is not what I'm used to. I don't like that.
And I'll give you an example because when we first started dating, we were in the car to go to Atlanta. And when we got back, matter of fact, we went to Atlanta and we turned right back around and just came on back because we went to do something and come right back. And when we got back, the rental car person said that, there was a dent in the car or something like that. And I ain't gonna lie, I blew a top.
Man, he got so upset. That was terrible.
And my mannerism, the way I conducted myself, she wasn't used to, guys, being like that. And I'm telling you, I was hot. And I was so hot that they banned me for life.
Yeah, for life.
And to this day, I can't rent from that.
It was bad. It was terrible. That's some of the things that, if it wasn't for other things that there was often that I used to see him that way, that if it was something that was all the time like that, we probably wouldn't be together. But that was something that he was hot, he was mad. But I mean, I think that you could have handled it different and act different. Okay, I mean, but it was bad.
Yeah. And the other one, what was another one?
Another one, there's something that that was in the beginning of the relationship. No, probably a couple years, probably. So I can remember exactly one day we was going to the supermarket. Yeah, I got fixed like I normally would do here. Even if you go to the supermarket, you put a jeans, you put a blouse, even sometimes you put a little makeup to go out. He asked me what I was going. I mean, meaning no, because we were going together, but like why I fix myself so well just to go to the supermarket. And to me, that was something that I would normally do. But for him, it wasn't. It does sit bad with me. I didn't explain it or say it. I get too much, thought or talk about it because I couldn't even how to explain. I mean, I didn't even know why he was saying that to me, but because the culture was different. That's something that was normal for me, but not for him. So but that, when he made the comment, that didn't sit very well with me.
Yeah, because that's what Dominicans do. For the most part, like I say, things have changed here and there's a different influence now. So I'm not gonna say all of them do that, but back then, going to the grocery store, going to a, gas station, they put on clothes and that was like, why you putting all that on to go to the grocery store, so. But that comes into learning the culture and, and understanding how, the women are here that you're looking to date. Mm-hmm. So those are 3 things that we think that, appearance does matter. The way you dress, your grooming, and your mannerisms, you know. And one thing we got to understand, as not just men, but just people in general, that everybody doesn't see you the way you see yourself. So you may think you're cool, but no one, the people that you're presenting yourself don't even know you. So it doesn't matter what you think about yourself. It matters what the other person thinks of you to a certain degree, if you're trying to, you know, go under this person's attention. What they think does matter. Now, if you're not trying to garner anybody's attention, do you? You know what I'm saying? Do you? But if that's not your goal, then you need to have some type of care about what someone else thinks of you. Like I say, we look at ourselves totally different than how people see us. So we think we're the shit. We think that we the flyest, the coolest, and trust man, these people don't know that, you know.
And yeah, pretty much it is like the first impression. I mean, whatever they gonna, I mean, whether you get, like when you go try to get a job, the first impression that you give it, you just wanna give you if you're gonna get the job or not. Now, whether you trying to keep the job after you get it, and then you're gonna be acting, if you ain't trying to keep the job, why even try to act like you want the job if at the end of the day you're gonna be fired next day? So even if you are, I would say represent, good they give impression, but it's something that you want. That's something that you want to do, that you're trying to do because you want that, not because you are trying to do the first impression. After that, I mean, what you saw yesterday, that is not what it is today. So if that is something that you're trying to do, then it's not even worth it because it's not going to work anyway.
Right. So, so also I would say too is that when we make videos like this, these are for guys that are serious about, you know, dating and having a relationship. It's not for guys who are not serious, because you know they always have, you know, their perspective and how they feel, and that's fine. So, you know, this is for people who actually are serious about dating and really want a relationship, is to, you know, take this stuff and don't take it with a grain of salt. You know, kind of see what we're coming from, because we don't make videos for the people who come to just pay for play and that type of thing and just want to have fun. We don't make videos for that, because that's not the type of couple we are. You know, we're focused on really bringing, you know, a positive aspect to, you know, our time here in Dominican Republic, and a positive outlook on the country and on relationships. You know, not saying that everything is always perfect, but you know, like you said in one of the videos, like, you know, people get tired of this. You should get tired of listening to all the negative stuff and want to hear something positive. So we try to bring that positive element to you guys. So again, before you jump in the comments saying that, oh, this and that, man, we're not even talking about you. We're not talking about your anecdotal situation. We're being in general. We're talking about people who are serious about actually dating. So I just wanted to get that out there.
Okay, yes, I think that is a good statement, because we know, what? Yeah, that's a good statement. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I don't even say nothing else. Well, this is all we have right now. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share. And we will see you in our next one. Bye.
Peace.